didn't know that knitting patterns like this existed. Marty Supreme Socks. Hi, Frankenstein. Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarah, and this is Sarah Kate Knits. On my channel, I like to talk about all things knitting, primarily what I'm working on, and I recently released a summer yarns video. Thank you all so much for the support and love on that summer yarns video. I'm so glad that I was able to connect with so many of you who knit in a warmer climate. I live in North Florida, so a lot of my yarn and pattern choices have to be cognizant of the warm weather climate that I live in. Today, I am back with the standard knitting podcast format. I'm going to start with my finished objects, then go to works in progress. And I actually, because I'm on a yarn ban right now, I do not have any acquisitions. So I'll just be catching you up from the last knitting podcast that I released months ago. But yeah, I'm just going to catch you up on everything I've finished since the last episode and everything I'm working on right now. All right, so my first finished object is my Audrey top by Petite Knit. I knit this in the Bad Sheep Yarn Mulberry Silk Fingering, held double. This is a DK weight pattern. It doesn't take very much yardage, which is great, and it is a very comfortable summer knit. This yarn I originally used in my Ophelia top, and if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that my Ophelia top, the armpits were too tight. I did a bad job with the yoke and it cut under my armpits, so I frogged all that beautiful work. Because in order to fix the yoke, you have to frog all the way anyways, and I decided that I'd rather just hold it double and knit up something quick rather than reknit the whole top. So the Ophelia top pattern is gorgeous. I just messed up the yoke. Don't be like me. So I frogged all of that, I washed it, and then I held it double to make my Audrey top. I knit the size small in this top. And at first I really loved the fit. I thought it was really cute. The silk is super drapey. But after I've worn it multiple times and washed it a couple times, I'm noticing like a sagging in the armpit area, which is, you know, part of the design. But I mean, the armpits are so wide compared to, like, look at that. Armpits are so wide compared to this upper strap part. So you'll see in the try on video, but it's definitely a very, very casual top. I was hoping that I'd be able to like dress it up a little bit, but it's really not. It's really very loungy. The armhole cut's really deep. I suppose I could have done an extra small, but I still think even with that little tiny change in like circumference, I still think the armpit would be pretty deep. So if you want to make this pattern, you know, be mindful of that. I kind of have to wear a like tube top bra that I don't really care if people see with it, just because the armhole's so like wide that you get into like side boob territory. So that's sort of my reflection on this pattern. This yarn, it's kind of like, I don't want to say degrading. I feel like that's kind of a harsh word, but it's certainly pilling and fuzzing a little bit. It's definitely not hard wearing, probably because it's so soft. I did touch on this a bit in my summer yarns video. I talked about this yarn, but the silk does kind of, this type of silk, the 100% mulberry, does kind of want to like pull away from itself. It's just not the most hard wearing. And this fabric is definitely looking less beautiful than when I finished it. And it's a really simple knit. It was something that sort of was kind of a palette cleanser, like DK weight, mostly stockinette. It's knit bottom up, and then you just do some decreases, and then you do the straps. So it was a really chill pattern. So chill that I actually made 2 of them. This was the second finished object. This one I made in Tin Lena held double, and this one I like a lot more. This one is holding up really, really well. I talked a lot about Tin Lena in my summer yarns video. It's a yarn that I really, really love. It softens, like, it's not super soft immediately. One of my commenters on that video was saying that they touched Tin Lena in the ball and was like not impressed. But it softens after washing, but it still has like some structural integrity. Like this top, I've worn it the same amount, if not more, than this silk version. And it is not really pilled at all. It looks great actually. And I've worn it to the pool, I've worn it with sunscreen, I've worn it to the beach. But yeah, this one is holding up a lot better. It's more cropped since I had less yardage of this. And I duplicate stitched a little cosmopolitan drink on it with scrap yarn. I just think it's so adorable. This pattern is so simple and like no frills that I kind of, if I was gonna make a white tank top, I couldn't just make a white tank top. I kind of needed to duplicate stitch something cutesy on it. So here you go. Duplicate stitch little cocktail on there. All right, so our next finished object is a pair of socks. Look how cute they are. I was really on a Colorwork sock kick in the beginning of this year. I made 2 birthday gift socks earlier this year. I don't know if I included them in my first knitting podcast. It's been so long since the last one, I kind of don't remember. But they were included in a lot of those reels that I've been posting about socks. So I'm just skipping ahead to the ones that I finished a little bit more recently. So these are the Don't Bug Me socks by Stone Knits or Charlotte Stone. Um, they are so cute. They're so cute. I just love them so much. So let's talk about the yarn I used. So for this pink background color, I used the La Bien-Aimée Merino Super Sock in the colorway Pink Fetty. So it's just this really nice pastel pink with tiny little flecks of color in it. So cute. For the cuff, heel, and toe, I used this Blush Fiberco yarn that I bought on Etsy. It's from the Bubblegum Graffiti sock set. It's a 4-ply, 85% superwash, 15% nylon yarn. It's this really cute, like multicolor, kind of spirally speckled situation. I'm hoping to use this in like a colorwork top project soon. I was gonna use it for more socks, but I'm really loving like the variegation of it. It's just really cute, really, really fun. And then for the red and black, these are both Drops Fable in whatever the red and black colorway is. So these socks were super fun to knit. I had them from my Joyful Colorwork Socks book. I was working through that in the beginning of the year, but since it's become warmer, I'm not really motivated to work colorwork socks. But yeah, so these are all over colorwork, 3-stranded colorwork. And I feel like the 3-strand does slow you down, but I was listening to Donna Tartt's The Little Friend while I worked on these. And so they kind of remind me of listening to The Little Friend. So that's kind of like, I don't know. It's a sweet kind of correlation to have. I mean, that book, there's nothing sweet about that book. The book's really dark. But regardless, 3-color color work. It's her regular construction. So if you've knit any stone knit socks, I've talked about stone knit socks too a lot. So I really don't want to yabber on about the construction. But yeah, they're just so adorable, these little ladybugs. And I've only been wearing these inside because I kind of want to keep them pristine. I don't want to wear them in shoes and let them felt. So here they are. They're like my little house sleeping socks. That's why they still look pretty good, even though I've probably worn them like 30 times already. Next up is another pair of socks. These are self-drafted, kind of. They're construction-wise, they're heavily inspired by Charlotte Stone. So it's a similar, like I used her stitch counts and I used her short row heel to make these, but these are what I call my Marty Supreme socks. So I made these socks to wear on Oscars night in support of Marty Supreme, not in support of anything weird or uneducated that Timothy Chalamet has said. I wouldn't even say not well educated. I'd just say not well thought out. I just think that he kind of fumbled the ball on that one. Anyways, not to talk about Timothy Chalamet controversy. Unfortunately, making these socks for the Oscars did not work. Marty Supreme was heavily snubbed. I love that movie so much that I went out of my way to make a chart. I'm just going to put it up on the screen because feel free to take it. If you're a Marty Supreme supporter, go crazy. But yeah, so it's basically little ping pong paddles and then the orange ping pong ball that is featured in the movie. This is also the La Bien-Aimée Merino Super Sock in the Pink Fetty. The red and orange are that Drops Fable. The yellow is from Blush Fiber Co. as well. It's I got a little mini skein. I think it's called Citron is the color. And then the blue is Cascade Heritage. I think the color Sky Blue. It's Cascade Heritage in the color Clear Sky. So that's the background blue color. I love the colors I have going on, and I think they're very sweet. I don't really wear them just because from far away, I'm sure right now the ping pong paddles aren't really doing it. Close up, they look better, and in my chart, they look really good. But yeah, they don't look that good from far away. So yeah, self-drafted chart, my Marty Supreme Socks. I love that movie so much. It was my movie of 2025, my favorite movie of 2025. Comment down below if you liked Marty Supreme. I just want to talk about Marty Supreme with people. But yeah, if you want the chart, let me know and I can send it to you. But yeah, these are them. Next up for finished objects is a pair of socks that I think are being worn right now. It's another pair of socks that I made for my partner. These are similar to my Secret History socks. I haven't released the pattern yet. I am kind of just chilling on it for now. I just kind of changed the cable repeat a little bit, but it's very similar to the other socks I made him. But yeah, I'll insert a picture right here. I used San Nisgarn Sisu in the colorway Steel Blue. And then I used Lang Jowl for the toe tip just because I made them longer for him this time. He wanted like a dress sock length, like a pretty long. And so I started to run out near the end. So I made like little contrast toe tips. He loves them. They took me a long time because I kept casting on other things and ignoring them. But finally, I set my mind to it. I worked on them exclusively. And now he has a second pair of handmade socks by me. And he wears them all the time. So that's all one could ask for when knitting for someone else. Speaking of Secret History, my Secret History cardigan pattern is now available on Ravelry. I released it last weekend, so really new, yay! But yeah, so in that time, I finished my second sample. This sample is in Malabrigo Arroyo in the color Pearl. I really like the variegated kind of grayish texture, and I put these fun little sparkly star buttons on it. Just for some whimsy, some childlike wonder, you know. This version is the additional armhole cable version, so I'll show you there. I also did the other modification with the spaced out cable repeat, so that is what this sample is. This pattern is knit in sport weight yarn with 4mm needles, 3.5mm for the ribbing and the double knit button band. If you're interested in purchasing the cardigan pattern, I've linked the Ravelry link down below. It's not very seasonally appropriate. I just wanted to get the pattern out. It's how the cards fell. I mean, it's, the length of my test knit and rewriting the pattern, adding the modifications to the pattern, it really slowed me down. So yeah, while I wish that I had released it in early spring where it was more seasonally appropriate, it's out now. Maybe save it in your queue and knit it this fall. But yeah, I love this cardigan. I mean, obviously I designed it. I feel like I've talked about this cardigan a lot in multiple videos, so feel free to refer to those if you want the full rundown on my design process and all of that. But yeah, I'm so excited to have released my first pattern. Thank you all again for your support, and thank you again to my testers. They were all so great, so communicative. I'd love to work with them again in the future. The next finished object is a weird one. This is my Poppy Bloom pillow. This is a pillow that I drafted using Sorry Nordland's Poppy Bloom chart. I bought that pattern a while ago, wanted to make the sweater. I got Drops Air for it. I got colors that their values were too similar, and so there wasn't enough contrast and it didn't look good. By the time I got the yarn that was the correct color and would create enough contrast, it was hot, so I never got to knit the Poppy Bloom pullover like I planned to. But in order to sort of satisfy my yearning to work on that chart, I sort of did a gauge swatch in my brain. I used the gauge of the Luma pullover. So I knit this on 5mm needles. This is a 12-inch square like pillow insert. So I just kind of did the math for, two 12-inch squares. And then I figured out how many stitches and rows I needed. And then I modified the sleeve charts from the Poppy Bloom pullover to get these sleeves. And then this center chart is just the flower without any increases. So this is all yarn that I don't like to wear. So this is the Cascade Yarns Eco Merino DK, the cream color. I had originally knit it in a Frankie sweater and it was really itchy and I'm sensitive. So I frogged that. And so I'm going to use it for multiple sort of pillow covers. I'm hoping to make more. So yeah, the cream is the Cascade Eco Merino DK in the color Ecru. The green is Drops Air in the color Bright Olive. This is one of the rejected Poppy Bloom pullover Drops Airs. The mohair is the Hobby Diablo Wild Print. I held 4 strands together to work with this 5mm gauge. So yeah, I think it's really cute. Things to reveal to you now that show that this is fully self-drafted and I kind of did it spontaneously. So my closure method sucks. I'll just be honest, it sucks. I just kind of like knit ribbing. Like I knit the sides the same in the round and then I bound off and then I knit ribbing on one side back and forth until I felt like you could fold it over well enough. And then I made buttonholes, obviously, just like knit 2 together, yarn over buttonholes. And I only made 3, and I think I should have made like 5. I don't know, there's lots of problems. Like, yeah. So there's clearly a wrong side and a right side with this pillow. This is the front and this is the bottom. So I just put it on the couch like this and hope that nobody notices. But I think when I make more pillow covers, because I have another square foot pillow insert that I want to make a cover for, I will probably do like a double knit kind of button closure and then I'll put more buttons, like the buttons all the way on the edges and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's really cute and it's a, hi Frankenstein. Hi Spooky. This is Frankenstein. Looks like Frank's gonna hang out with us for a while. What I was saying was it's a great way to use up this yarn that is not comfortable for garments or yarn that I've tried for garments and I don't like, because like the colors are super fun and it works really well. I have a green couch, so this goes really nicely. But yeah, it's a fun way to test out colorwork charts. I'm sort of working on one that's like a bunch of beetles, so that's gonna be really cute. But yeah, I don't know. I like colorwork, clearly. Look at my shirt. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I love colorwork. I'm always looking for more opportunities to work in colorwork, and I don't need a bunch of colorwork sweaters. So yeah, if I make these pillow covers and I make them where you can remove them to wash them and everything, they'll be interchangeable. So I can make a bunch of them and just change them out seasonally. Oh, our last finished object is what I'm wearing. Yay! So this is the King Salmon Light by Caitlin Hunter. It is a fingering weight pattern. I knit mine in Sandnes Garn Tin Line. The blue color for the fish is Tin Line in the color light blue. And then this main color is a yarn that I got from formerly known as Good Yarn. They're now Cone and Fiber in Portland. So yeah, here's some on the cone. This is a cashmere, silk, cotton, and linen blend. It's mostly cotton and silk. So there's a little bit of cashmere, mostly a summer blend. I love it. It's great. It was definitely kind of stiff while I worked it up because of all of like the spinning oil. Because when you buy yarn on the cone like this, I had to ply it too, actually, which was kind of annoying. It was like, this is 4 strands held together. So while I don't love that part, like plying it together, it was very cost effective and you get a lot. You just get a lot of yardage for a lot less money per yard. They told me in the store that after I wash it, you kind of wash out the spinning oil and then it gets a lot softer, and they were right. It's so breathable. I wore it today, and it's so hot today, and it worked great. So yeah, this is my first foray into, well, this is my second foray into summer color work. I also knit the Alpine Bloom by Caitlin Hunter, but this one is actually, I'd say, fully summer color work because both yarns are primarily um, plant fiber dominated, so not a lot of wool. This one was so much fun. The chart for this is just so much fun. Once the colorwork chart was done, I was kind of like, eek, because it is just knitting in the round on 2.75 millimeter needles. I modified the pattern a little bit. I shortened the ribbing pretty much everywhere, and I shortened the body too. Oh, and I made short sleeves. Duh, because I want it to be a t-shirt. The King Salmon Light is like it is a sweater pattern. It's a fingering weight sweater pattern. But I'm kind of working on building a Ravelry bundle of summer colorwork patterns. So these are either t-shirts that are colorwork or fingering or sport weight sweater patterns that could be modified to be a t-shirt that would still be cute. But yeah, that's for a different video. I'll come to you guys with a summer colorwork video soon. But yeah, let me move my hair so you can see these super cute little salmons. This has been something that was in my queue for so long. And so I'm just so excited that I finally got to knit it up, and it looks great. It's so comfortable. I can wear it with my black pants or my navy pants. Today I wore it with jeans. Yeah, I just love this one. So that was all for finished objects, and now we are on to works in progress. All right. My first work in progress is something that I started in a different yarn, frogged because I didn't like the yarn, and then I started this when I was sick. I was sick a couple weeks ago, maybe like a month ago, honestly, and I wanted something stockinette, and I wanted something in a summer yarn. Just kind of dreaming of feeling better, being in the sun. So yeah, this is my second attempt at the Lyra Tee by Irene Lynn. This is knit on 3.5 millimeter needles with 3.25 millimeter needles for the folded collar and the hem. So this is a top-down compound raglan. So you start with the folded collar, and then pretty much right after the folded collar, you start with the sort of shoulder increases, and then you increase for the sleeve and the body. The shoulder is in this really cute half-twisted rib. A lot of people complain about that in this pattern, but I kind of find it fun. I don't know. So yeah, I'm knitting this again, or I restarted this, and I'm knitting it in Tin Lena in the color Matcha. So yeah, Tin Lena is one of my favorites. It's so enjoyable, and just sort of like knowing that I will be fully comfortable in this shirt once it's done is keeping me going. So yeah, I'd say I'm a little bit loose on gauge. You can see that the Tin Lena is kind of thin. It's kind of transparent. So a lot of the Lyra tees that I've seen online are a little bit more opaque than this. I still think that with a tank top underneath, it won't be that see-through. I think it will look really nice. It's always good to have plant fiber, fingering weight tops on the needles when it's 90 degrees outside. So yeah, I'm excited to have another classy piece to wear to work or to dinner. I think will be really nice since I've made a lot of like casual summer knits recently. Our next work in progress is something that when I saw it, I didn't know that knitting patterns like this existed. So this is the Cake Crop by Olga Putano Designs. It is a bottom-up colorwork cropped tee, and it is knit on 3.5 millimeter needles for the colorwork and 2.75 millimeter for the ribbing. Some of the people on Ravelry use black yarn as the base with this like cotton candy, like rainbow pastel for the colorwork. And I fell in love. I fell in love with that colorway. You start with Fisherman's Rib. I've already made a modification where I did corrugated rib instead of Fisherman's because the people doing Fisherman's in Ravelry, like they had some flaring happening. And so there was lots of people modding to do corrugated rib. So that's what I did. And then you work the colorwork chart up in the round. And then I think it's like 6 to 10 rows. I might do more just to lengthen it. And then there's this really beautiful intarsia detail on both sides of the V-neck. So I've never done intarsia in a garment. I've only done intarsia for this little knit fox guy. I mean, that went pretty well. So I'm not too worried about the intarsia on the garment. But yeah, I'm excited. It's kind of like a fleur-de-lis pattern in the round and then these like little butterflies on the sides. So yeah, I just had never seen something constructed like this and so like striking. Like this color work is so striking. I don't know. I think maybe because it's not a round yoke. Don't get me wrong, I love a round yoke, ergo. But I'm really liking the colorwork band on the bottom, not only like visually, but I like it because I think that it's more summer friendly. Like I think that having double layer yarn right on your neck, chest, armpits is more likely to cause sweatiness and discomfort than around your sort of like torso area where the shirt is not even touching the body. Yarn choices for this, I am using La Bien-Aimée merino sock again. This one is the colorway Ponyo and Sosuke. Half picked because Ponyo is one of my favorite movies. Half picked because, I mean, look at it. Stop. It's just so lovely. I love just this blend of pastels is so gorgeous. I'm obsessed. So yeah, that's what I'm using for the color work. Yes, I know it's not a summer yarn, but I'm feeling like because it's down here and a little bit here, I think I can get away with it. It's also really soft. So, you know, hopefully like it won't bother me too much. But yeah, so that's the color work. And then for the main color, I'm using the other yarn that I got at formerly Good Yarn, now Conan Fiber, which is 100% silk. It's called Solare. Here it is on the cone. So yeah, really thin strand. I'm holding it 3 strands to make like a fingering weight. So yeah, it's 100% silk. I think it might be barrette silk because it's not the softest, but that does mean it'll be hard wearing. And after I wash it, it should soften just like their other yarn with the spinning oil on it. So yeah, I'm using a very deep brown and my Ponyo and Sosuke variegated. And while it's not exactly the same as the black and cotton candy rainbow versions that I love so much, it has it's got a similar vibe with that really dark base and then the really kind of pastel colors. I'm a little bit worried on how I'm gonna style this. I was Googling like whether wearing brown and black together is like still a fashion faux pas. Like I feel like my mom kind of ingrained in me that you don't wear black and brown together. But according to the internet, people wear black and brown together now. So I don't know if I could wear this with black pants. I really feel like that's a stretch. But yeah, I feel like I also couldn't wear it with blue pants and I don't have white pants. So my option right now is jeans. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when it's done. We'll see when it's done. I'll show you when it's done. You can let me know what you think. I feel like I'm trying to make summer color work my thing. I feel like there's an untapped market for summer color work. Just based on how many of you commented on my summer yarns video, if you're into colorwork, girl, I have got you. We are going to make colorwork t-shirts. Okay, that's my rant. So yeah, this is the Cake Crop by Olga Pitano Designs. It's bottomed up, but I don't really care. It's going great. I am in love with my colorways and I'm in love with the chart, so I'm having a lot of fun. And our final work in progress is not really a work in progress. It's a test knit. I was chosen to work on I was chosen for the Shoreline Vest test knit by Tori You, which is really exciting. It's a big tester group. I've never done a test knit for a designer of such stature, so I'm really excited. It's a very cute V-neck tie front vest, so I think, you know, it's a summer staple. Despite it being a summer staple, I am knitting it in wool because again, I'm stash busting and this is the kind of color that I wanted to use, so I just went based on color more than based on fiber. This is the Bad Sheep Yarn Basic Sock Fingering in the colorway Aquamarine. I'm holding it double to get the DK weight gauge that the pattern requires. So here it is in the cakes. Really nice icy blue color. My idea is that I will wear it as a work tank top with a camisole underneath it. Because I don't really wear, like, I feel like it's so structured and nice looking that I think for my sake, it's going to be more of a work top than it is going to be like a weekend top. Like my Audrey tops are my weekend top. So I think it's okay that I'm knitting it in wool, just because of my use case. I'm gonna wear it inside. I'm gonna wear it more formally. That's my plan. So yeah, this is my swatch. It's like a long skinny one. I don't know why I did it like this. But yeah, this is all I have for now. I'm going on a trip to Albuquerque for a conference, so I am planning to start it on the plane and in my layovers in the airport. So I'm kind of like prohibiting myself from starting this because it's on 4mm needles. It's a vest. I feel like it's going to go really quick. So I'm not allowed to start it until my vacation slash work trip. But I think it's going to be such a sweet like treat to have on my way there. I was looking for something stockinette, something kind of simple to work on while I'm on the plane. The Colorwork is just too kind of like faffy for a plane. So excited to be invited to test knit this. Thanks again to Tori. I'm so excited to, be in this testing community, and I'm really excited to have this lovely icy blue variegated cute little tie vest to wear to work with navy pants, black pants, whatever. So yeah, I will keep you guys updated on that. It's not a secret test, so I can share whatever I'd like. But yeah, I think it should be on your guys' radar because it's a really, really cute pattern. Very, very classy, very well structured. It's got very cute little eyelets on the edges. And I mean, the tie front vest, it's a knitting trend. We love it for a reason. That was all for my finished objects and works in progress, which means that is all for today's podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me, talking about knitting. Again, if you're interested in purchasing my Secret History cardigan pattern, I've linked it down below in the description. Let me know what you're working on. I love to hear about summer knits, summer fibers, so please feel free to share. Thank you all again for the support, and until next time, happy knitting.